Last episode ended with the party trapped in the back room of an underwater temple, dangerously low on hit points and being hunted by a mysterious group of Plaguedoctors who wanted them dead. Without any spell slots or easy escape routes, the party could only think of one way to get out of here. So they broke the windows and flooded the room. They quickly climbed out into the lake, ready to swim back up to their boat, but in the midst of the chaos, Edith stealthily grabbed the dark purple crystal out of the dead body of the priestess they killed earlier. She now had all 4 that she needed. The party then swam up towards where their boat was waiting for them, but as they ascended, they noticed that there was a second ship next to it. This had to be the ship the Plaguedoctors had arrived on. The party still had another few minutes left on their potions of water breathing, so they hid in the shadows beneath the boat and tried to figure out their next move. However, while they were hiding, they saw the Plaguedoctors far below them in the water, swimming back up towards the boats. The party all rolled stealth checks and barely managed to evade the sight of the Plaguedoctors, as they swam up past and jumped onto the boat. Up on the ships themselves, the Plaguedoctors had hired a pirate ship to sail out and attack the player's vessel. Now, the crew of the pirate ship had the sailors held at gunpoint, and the Plaguedoctors had their weapons out as well. Where are the adventurers? We know that they've left the temple. Where are you hiding them? The party climbed up over the railing of the boat with their weapons ready, and a fight immediately broke out. With the element of surprise on their side, the party was able to eliminate one of their enemies within the very first round of the fight. But soon their attention became split. Edith and Porkins were working together to deal with the Plaguedoctors, meanwhile the rest of the party was dealing with the pirates. However, the party was already injured from their previous fights inside the temple, and this battle wasn't an easy one. Edith went down within the very first round from a lucky crit on the Plaguedoctor's side. She laid there on the deck of the ship, slowly bleeding out as the battle continued around her. The party managed to defeat the Plaguedoctors after trading a few blows back and forth. Following that, the pirates all dropped their weapons. Alright, we surrender. We had no stake in this fight, we just wanted to get paid by those creepy masked people. I promise. The party looked back to Edith now that the fight was done, ready to heal her, and saw that she wasn't breathing. She'd died in the midst of the battle. As the party began to mourn their loss, the 2 boats began to sail back towards the city of Amberwood. Edith woke up, and she was standing in an expansive rocky stretch of terrain. Far above the dark ground beneath her, there was an endless sea of storm clouds, striking dark purple lightning down into the crater-marked landscape around her. She recognized this place. This is what she had been able to see reflected in the crystals she had been collecting. Echoing throughout this area, Edith heard a voice in her head. You belong to me now, and I've decided that you don't get to die yet. Once you return to the world of the living, you will take the crystal shards to Merlos's mansion, and you will open the portal to allow my return to Venzor. Don't fail me again. Edith suddenly felt that the Fates card she had drawn from the deck of many things all those weeks ago activated, and she woke back up, lying in a pool of her own blood, and she felt that her connection to her old patron had been completely severed, and she was now getting her spells from a new source of power. Oh, did we win the fight? Edith, you're alive? How? You stopped breathing. It takes more than a mortal sword wound to kill me. I had a dead squirrel in my bag, and that let me bring myself back to life. Your dead squirrel? Yeah, my dead squirrel. Some people recommend using magical crystals to resurrect yourself, but I like the squirrel method, personally. Meanwhile, on the other boat, Porkins had quickly become good friends with one of the pirates after they raided the alcohol stash together. The 2 of them were now completely drunk on the pirate ship, and were singing sea shanties together, much to the annoyance of everybody within earshot. The sun set in the background during the trip back, but the boat eventually returned to Amberwood. The party immediately began traveling to a nearby tavern so that they could rest for the night after such a chaotic day. Porkins? Who's that? That's Greg, one of the pirates that attacked us. Okay, why is he with us now? We're friends now. Not best friends though, you're still my best friend Tenebris, but he's great. He knew where all the alcohol on the pirate ship was hidden. Well, he can't stay with us. Alrighty, bye Greg, I'll see you next time we come to town. Greg the pirate then left the party just as suddenly as he had joined. A few minutes later, the party arrived at the local tavern, and they all headed to their own rooms and began to sleep the night away. However, a few hours into the night, Tenebris snuck out of his room. He crept down the hallway towards Edith's room, and carefully picked the lock. Thanks to his background as a thief in Darkwell, he was able to break in without making a single noise. He moved silently across the room, past Edith's bed, and opened her backpack. He pulled out 3 small dark purple crystals from the bag. These were too dangerous, he couldn't let her have them. However, he didn't know that she actually had managed to gather 4 of them, because she had cut open the Watcher while the rest of the party's backs were turned a few nights ago. So he left the room, with no knowledge that Edith was still in possession of one of these crystals. A mistake on his part that would cost everybody on the Island of Venzor very, very dearly in the upcoming weeks. Tenebris went down to Valrin's room and knocked on the door. Tenebris, it's like 3 in the morning, what do you want? Consalion told you to get the crystal from the underwater temple, right? Yeah, he did. Why, do you have it? Better, I got all 3. But it's only a matter of time until Edith notices that they're gone, and when she does, I want them to be far away from here. Can you take them and travel as far away as you can? Yeah, absolutely. What about you though? What if Edith attacks you after she finds out you stole the crystals? If she can't see the reasonable side of this, then, well, she won't be the first villain I've killed. The next morning, the party met for breakfast and found that Valrin had left in the middle of the night. Do you think that perhaps he got taken by Cartbox? I doubt it. Why would they kill Valrin and leave the rest of us around? We're the people who failed their job, not him. Maybe he just, left on his own. Either way, we need to keep moving. We've got a ton of factions hunting us, so we can't stay in the same place for long. Sounds good to me. I think that we should try to find the bank robbers from the other month. They might be able to help us deal with the nobles who are after us. Perhaps, though I think that we should go try to find the one mansion that Tenebris read about the other week. The one that thief lord guy built. The party then noticed that someone in a suit had walked up to their table. He introduced himself as one of Silsira Elafir's servants, and he handed over 2 pieces of paper to them before leaving. The first piece of paper was a cutout of a page of the broadsheets. The article was about the disappearance of Lord Halamir. He'd apparently gone missing a few days ago, and there had been almost no concrete leads as to where he had gone. The paper suspected that he may have fled to the city of New Ashton after getting entangled with a crime syndicate in Silverwick. The second piece of paper was a letter from Silsira herself. The letter read, "To J and Associates. I fear that the relatively hostile introductions between us may have led to some lingering animosity towards me from your side. So, in an attempt to remedy this, I would like to cordially invite you to a dinner on the 26th of April. I believe we have a lot to talk about. Your dear friend, Silsira Elafir."